Come along, Mossop. Did you dispose of all that junk that was cluttering up my pockets?
I certainly did, sir.
One can never be too careful on a ship that pitches and tosses to and fro.
Oh, please don't remind me, sir.
Stop fussing, Mossop. There's no time to lose. We've got to find our captain and set sail immediately.
Mossop really has cleaned out our inventory. He has even returned all of the items back into the wallet as well.
Are you excited about our latest adventure, Mossop?
I'd be a lot happier if we were on dry land, sir.
I have nothing more to say to you.
Righty-ho, sir.
This part of the game is very linear, especially compared to our time in London. It can get slightly awkward in a couple of places, but I will explain more when we get there. Anyway, let's take a look around.
Aha! One of my sailors is actually doing something, although quite what he is doing is another matter. The Union Jack sends a shiver of patriotism down my spine. I can't possibly reach that.
You can climb up this. But of course you are a gentleman.
That staircase leads up to the bridge.
Or at least he claims to be, anyway.
He's the captain of the Farragut. Good day, Captain. I am Piers Fanshawe, the new owner of this vessel. I trust you were made aware of this.
Aye, sir, that I was. Welcome aboard the Farragut. I'm Captain Scott.
You're not related to those Scots who do all that exploration, are you?
Unfortunately, no. That family anglicised their name from Scotelsky when they moved to England. I'm one of the original Scots.
I see. Very well, Captain Scott. I command you to take us out to sea on a mission of such secrecy I cannot tell you our destination until we're at least 20 miles from land, and even then I must whisper.
Whatever you say, sir. Splice the anchor, man the breeches, untie the gibbet. Slow ahead.
I say, Scott, are you sure you've sailed before?
Aye, aye, sir. Stow the poop.
Stow the what?
Right, Mr. Fanshawe. Where do ye want to go?
Well, Captain, it's a slightly tricky situation, in that I know the location I want to visit, but I don't know the whereabouts of said location.
So what do you suggest? Shall we just cruise around until we find something that vaguely resembles what you're looking for?
There is a chap who could help us. You may have heard of him. Name's Nematode. Captain...
Nematode? That scurvy spawn of a jellyfish? You won't get any help from that scuttling submariner.
You know him?
Know him? He sunk my last ship with that infernal submarine of his. Part of his crusade to bring down the world order or something like that. He's completely barmy. Lack of oxygen, I expect. Got to his brain.
Do you know where we could find him?
Last I heard, he was hiding out in the ice floes to the north. He can travel under the ice to escape pursuers, you see. That would be the first place I'd look.
Then north it is, Captain.
Aye, aye, sir. Just one problem, Mr. Fanshawe. I seem to have mislaid my favourite seafaring map. I haven't seen it since I finished colouring in the Asian continent. Without it, I may have problems sailing north.
I see. Leave it to me.
Well, we do have this map.
This is a map of the world according to the cartographers of the British Empire. The parts that are owned by England are painted pink.
Right, we are in the 1850s, I believe, maybe the 1880s. Either Canada is absolutely massive on this map, and the United States is absolutely tiny, or there's some confusion over who owns which territories. This can't be where we are now.
Perfect! Fasten the linchpins, lock tight the bootstraps. We sail north!
Captain, what's wrong? Why have we stopped?
It's the engines, lad. They cannot take it any longer. The previous owner never spent any money on maintenance, so everything's been fixed with string, spit and prayer.
But can you fix it?
Not easily. I've been doing all I can. We have to limp back to port and go into dry dock to find the problem. I need 4 days.
We don't have 4 days, Scotty. We've got 4 hours. We must get going as soon as possible. My manservant is pretty good with mechanical things, and I'm not a complete duffer. Between us, we should be able to patch the engine up enough to get us where we need to go.
I cannot work miracles, but I wish you luck, gentlemen.
Oh, I'm the gentleman, Mossop's a servant. Just thought I'd make that clear.
If you have to tell people that you are the gentleman, then are you really the gentleman?
He seems to have made friends with the marine wildlife.
Meal overboard!
Was that Mossop? Well, I know that was Mossop who said meal overboard, but was that Mossop who vomited?
It's used for grabbing small boats, I guess.
I would talk to him, but it's quite tricky right now.
My crew don't seem very busy. I don't want to disturb him.
Why not?
Are you feeling sick yet, Mossop?
I'm all right as long as I can still see land, sir.
But we're miles away from the shore. There's no land in sight.
Thank you for pointing that out, sir.
You're welcome.
I have nothing more to say to you.
Righty-ho, sir.
This is a bit of a pixel hunt right now, but it does become more prominent slightly later on.
I see nothing special. I'm going to need something pretty strong to open that window.
How about Mossop?
My bare hands will never be strong enough unaided. It's one of those instruments of audio torture. I suppose the captain uses it to warn off other ships in fog. I suppose it might come in handy, if not as a musical instrument, but as a weapon anyway.
How would you use it as a weapon?
It's a stuffed porcupine, and it's covered with sharp spines. They're like big needles. I suppose this is a souvenir from one of the captain's previous voyages. It looks so old and mangy, I could just pull a spine out of its skin with my bare hands. Watch out, Mossop. If that had hit your head, the tip would have broken off and it would have been useless.
Sorry, sir.
It's used for grabbing small boats, I guess. They're just like Mossop. The wind stored up inside them is responsible for a terribly unpleasant noise. I wouldn't even pretend that I could play these. There are Scotsmen who practice for 20 years or more, and they still sound like a herd of sheep on a high-fibre diet. It's a porcupine quill, but it looks like a big needle. He's one of my crew. I don't fancy a nautical discussion right now. That lazy bird seems to be hitching a ride with us. That can be used to load heavy cargo. Maybe we should have used it to help Mossop get on board. I can't possibly reach that.
Really? It seems like you can reach this.
Curses! It's rusted in place. I'll never shift it.
Alright, maybe he can't reach the wooden part at the top.
I'm no mariner, but I was under the apprehension that a seafaring vessel was supposed to be relatively free of holes.
What would cause such a hole as this?
He's one of my crew.
And what the hell was in that spit? That sounded rather heavy.
This gauge shows boiler pressure, but the needle is gone. There's no way of telling what it's reading.
Oh, maybe we could try a different kind of needle.
This quill should make an effective needle. There's no boiler pressure at all. There must be a leak in the pipe somewhere. It's leaking. It will have to be sealed with grease or some other sticky, viscous substance. It's a standard tool for engineers. If I'm going to fix this boat, I shall get myself the proper tools. Full of oil, I should think. I'd better be careful not to get too greasy.
You could always make Mossop carry it.
It needs to be brought back up to full steam. Oil isn't sticky enough to seal the valve. That should make it easier for the winch to swing round now. There, that should stop the sailor spinning over the side of the ship.
That sounded like a chain, but this looks remarkably like rope. Nice. We can't actually pick up this flag until we have looked at the valve to see that there is a leak somewhere. And that leak is down below deck.
I say, Mossop, be a top man and get that flag for me. I can't quite reach.
But you're taller than I am.
Yes, but this is a fitted suit from Savile Row. Any vigorous arm movements could put a strain on the stitching.
Oh, yes, sir. I forgot. But I still can't reach.
Well, try. There's a good chap.
I was walking around in circles, scratching my head earlier, and all that I forgot to do was check out the the gorge, should I say. Here we go. Now that we know there is a leak, this pipe becomes more noticeable.
There. That should seal the hole and stop the leak.
Surely it's only a short-term solution, but I guess that's all we need right now.
Well, at least I opened it.
Well, opened is one word, I guess.
Thanks to my handiwork, it's starting to get a bit chilly in here.
Now we need to collect a sticky substance, which, when this guy spits, it's definitely a big globule of something. But the problem is, even though we have this winch to stop it from going overboard, it keeps falling down this hole.
It's for use with screws or getting the lids off paint cans. This is full of oil, used for lubricating the ship's engine parts. I levered this from the porthole. That should stop anything leaking through that hole.
And Mossop just decides to stand right on top of it.
That piece of glass seems to have neatly covered up the hole.
Go on, Mossop, stand there again, please.
Why am I doing this?
Now we can't actually put the expectoration on glass on the valve until we have fixed the leak.
Thank goodness I found a use for that evil stuff.
I'm not sure why, because, I mean, we have to fix everything, but we seem to need to do things in a specific order. And again, we can't do the next bit until we have examined the gorge again.
There's some pressure now. All I have to do now is stoke up the boiler a bit to get the steam pressure back up to full power. There. That should restore the engines to perfect order. We can get on our way now. Captain, I could have sworn I saw something on that small iceberg. Pull up alongside. I want to investigate.
Very well. Break out the spinnaker. Button down the mizzen. Hoist the yardarm.
By Jove, sir, it's so good to be off that ship. I hate being sick.
I should say so. At least there was only the one mishap.
Yes, sir. Sorry about your shoes.
Never mind, Mossop.
And your waistcoat, sir.
It's all right, Mossop. Really, it is.
And I'm really sorry about your jacket. And your valise. And your brandy flask. And your best hat. And the back of your neck.
Yes, yes, Mossop. It's a good job I don't really need any of the items we couldn't clean properly, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Right, Mossop. Let's search this iceberg for clues to Captain Nematode's whereabouts. Is it cold enough for you, Mossop?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. I've got several layers of insulation keeping me warm.
One of the few advantages of being fat, eh?
I was referring to my woolen undergarments, actually, sir.
Ah, yes. Quite right. I have nothing more to say to you.
Righty-ho, sir.
I must deal with Captain Nematode first.
Sir, I think that might be a clue.
Mossop, your powers of observation never cease to amaze me.
This is rather convenient.
This must be Nematode's submarine.
Hello, travellers. I'm Captain Nematode, and you are on board my submarine, the Naughtiness. Now, who are you? What do you want?
I am Piers Fanshawe, and this is my faithful manservant, Mossop. I'm here to ask you for your help.
I don't help land dwellers, especially upper-class parasites like yourself. But you can help me. In fact, you can be my prisoners. I need some bargaining power to keep the Royal Navy off my back.
You can't take us prisoner.
I think you'll find I already have, Mr. Fanshawe.
Oh wow, I was having a lot of problems getting past these cutscenes. For some reason, during my test run, I had no issues whatsoever. But then when it came to recording, the game crashed at least half a dozen times while trying to get past these specific cutscenes. And I believe it might be a corrupted save file because I've replayed the last section and saved things in different spots. And it seems to be running okay now. Touch wood.
I don't want to touch those. I don't know what havoc I might cause. Don't touch anything.
I won't, sir.
Do you feel sick under the sea?
I hope I don't, sir. There's nowhere to... you know.
Review one's dinner?
Exactly, sir.
I have nothing more to say to you.
Righty-ho, sir.
That's Captain Nematode, psychotic aquaphiliac at large. Where are you taking us?
To my undersea base. You're free to go where you wish within its confines. You'll have the run of the place. In time, you will come to know and love me like a father, and you will be only too happy to work for me. But you can never leave.
What do you do down here?
I spend every waking hour searching for the lost city of Atlantis, a place destroyed by the land dwellers and claimed by the sea.
But I know where Atlantis is.
Don't lie to me, capitalist scum! If you did truly know its location, then you would also know why I'm searching for it. Can you tell me that?
Yes, of course I can. But I want to take a good look around your base before I lead you to Atlantis.
Well, if you ever decide to tell me why I search for Atlantis, then, and only then, will I believe you know its whereabouts.
I know why you're searching for Atlantis.
Oh, yes? Tell me why.
You want the real estate.
I don't want land. How dare you imply such a thing? The sea is my mistress, and I shall never leave her.
You're completely mad.
It is the land dwellers who are mad, my son. I see things perfectly clearly. All life came from the sea and should return there.
You're visiting all the cities in the world that begin with A.
Don't be absurd. Who'd want to go to Athens anyway?
Wow. What's wrong with Athens?
You want to set up a timeshare operation.
I don't want to make huge amounts of money out of gullible common folk by selling second-rate flea pits in dangerous locations for ridiculously large deposits and prohibitively high maintenance bills.
You bought one then.
Why do you think I hate society so much, Mr. Fanshawe?
You want to take over and be mayor of Atlantis.
I'm not interested in power, Mr. Fanshawe.
I'll tell you later.
We have now arrived at Nematode's base. And for some reason, he is allowing us to roam around there freely.
Right, Mossop. We've got to find out why Nematode wants to find Atlantis so much. Let's search this base for clues.
Righty-ho, sir.
Do you know why Nematode wants to find Atlantis?
I know as much as you do, sir.
Don't be silly, Mossop. You know nowhere near as much as I do. I have nothing more to say to you.
Righty-ho, sir.
It's another one of those automatons. It seems everyone has one nowadays. I don't think it was constructed to have meaningful discussions. They must be used for moving heavy goods.
I can't see any goods down here.
I wonder if those straps are there to prevent the audience from applauding too loudly. Maybe not. I'm not even going to begin talking about Captain Nematode and his large organ. Oh, great! I love these things. Listen to this. Ah, so it wasn't my playing after all.
Are you okay there, Mossop?
He's not important. He's my manservant. Now is not the time to start up a conversation. My playing seems to have dislodged those. It's a bundle of letters written in somewhat shaky handwriting. My goodness! They're love letters from Captain Nematode of all people. You see, Mossop? He does have a soul.
This looks like a diving suit for a very small person. The spacesuit looked the same as well.
Super! A suit to ensure one's everyday clothing doesn't become spoilt by salt water. This could come in handy if I need to escape from this place without the aid of Nematode's submarine. Captain Nematode certainly takes his nautical decor theme very seriously.
Now these letters will say the same thing if we examine them again right now. But if we examine this picture,
That must be an artist's impression of the mythical mermaid.
we can examine these letters again.
It's a bundle of letters written in somewhat shaky handwriting.
But who are they to, sir?
Apparently, they're all addressed to, oh dear, a mermaid.
A mermaid? But they're mythical creatures, sir. A human crossed with a fish is biologically impossible.
I'm well aware of that, Mossop. Mind you, some of the things Nematode has written to her are anatomically impossible. All the letters are addressed to the same place, Atlantis. It seems Nematode saw this mermaid years ago and fell in love with her, and he's pursued her ever since. Yeah, the silly fool probably just got drunk in Copenhagen.
That's why he wants to find Atlantis. He thinks she lives there.
Dirty old devil. Still, at least we know his true reason for searching for it. If it's watertight, it's good enough for me.
Although saying that, maybe we just need Mossop in the room. It feels like there should be more going on with these automatons. Especially with the conveyor belts, and they are aimlessly wandering around.